Welcome to Beaded Doilies by Shell. In this video we are continuing our video word chart tutorial for the right angle weave. I am using my pattern Bell for this project. Now here is what our piece looks like so far. Now at the end of the last video we ended with our string coming out the side, so we now need to get it in position for adding our next set of beads. So what we want to do is go through the two beads that we last added and the side bead of the previous row. So we go up through first bead, then the second bead, and then the side bead on the previous row. And now we are ready to begin our next set. Now, before we begin, I've noticed that as I'm beading, I cover up row 6, so I've let it hang here for the moment. What we're going to do is we're going to figure out where we are in our piece, and then I'm going to fold it and set it so you can see the rest of row 6. So what we want to do to find out where we are is count the side beads of our current row. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means we have finished through row 7. So I'm going to fold this so that we show set 8. We're on row 5. Set 7 we're done through. We're going to start at set 8. And we'll slip this right back. And now we are ready to begin. So this is P, meaning that our string is coming out of the side bead on our previous row. And we're going to add 2 beads. We need an A and a C. And we'll let them drop down. And then we'll go through the top bead of our current row and the side bead where our string is exiting. And there we have our 2 beads added. Now to position for the next set, we want to go through just the top bead, which is the first bead we just added. And that positions us to add our next set. And we are ready to increase. And the A means that our string is coming out of the top bead away from our previous row. So it's coming out away. We're going to add 3 beads. All of them are A color. And we'll let them drop down. And then when you add 3 beads, you want to go through the bead that your string is exiting out of. So we find that bead and we go through it so our string is exiting out on the same side. And there we have our 3 beads. And then we want to position for our next row. So we want to go up through just that first bead we added. And now we are ready to begin row 6. And for row 6, we are going to increase by 1. So there's our string coming out. And we're going to add 4 beads, the first 4 beads together. So that's 4 A colors. And we'll let them drop down. And then when you add 4 beads, you go through the first bead you just added, making sure to thread through in the same direction as the first threading. And there are our 4 beads of our next row added. And now we're ready to begin adding our sets of beads. So we'll turn our piece over so that our beginning of our row is at the bottom, and our string is currently coming out the top of our current row, C, and we want to add an A and a C. A and C. We'll let them drop down. And then we go through the side bead and top bead. So you want to make sure you're going through the correct side bead. Here it is the bead right next to the top bead. I'm going to try to go through both at once, but that didn't work, so just go through this side bead. String's on the wrong side. Okay. And then we'll go through the top bead. We want to tighten this up. Mine's gotten quite loose here. I find just separating the beads a little bit and then pulling tight tightens it up. So there we are. Turn it back this way. We've added our 2 beads. And now we want to go through the 2 beads we just added and the next side bead. So we go through the first bead we added, the second bead we added, and then the next side bead, which is right next to the top bead of our current row. And there we have added. And now our string is coming out of the side bead of our previous row. And 3 through 6 are all 3 BB, so we will add 2 B colors for the next 3 sets. We add 2 B colors and we let them drop down, and then we go through the top and side bead, so the top bead of our current row and the side bead that our string is coming out of. And then we want to position, we just go through the first bead we added, which is our new top bead of our current row. And our bead is coming out of the top bead of the current row. And again, we want to add 2 B colors. I think I said 3 sets. We're actually doing 4 sets of double B. So we add 2 B colors. And then let that drop down. And we go through the side and top bead. So first go through the side bead, and then we go through the top bead that our string is exiting. Now we want to go through the 2 beads we added and the side bead. And now our string is coming out of the side bead on our previous row, and we will add 2 B colors. We'll let them slide down, and then we will go through the top bead and side bead that our string is coming out of. And now to position, we will just go through that first bead we added, which is our new top bead of our current row. And then we will take a quick count to make sure where we are. So we just count the side bead, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're ready to add 6, which is also 2 B colors. Our string is coming out of the top of our current row. Put on 2 B's. Let them drop down. And then we'll go through the side bead and top bead. And then we want to go through the 2 beads we just added plus the next side bead. and our string is coming out of the side bead of our previous row, and we want to add a C followed by a B, added our 2 beads, let them drop down, and then we go through the top bead and side bead, top bead and the side bead our string is exiting, and then we want to go through just that first bead we added, and now 8 and 9 are both the same, so we're going to add 2 C colors. Our string is coming out the top of the current row. We add 2 C colors. We let them drop down. And then we go through the side and top bead. And then we go through the 2 beads we added and the next side bead. And now our string is coming out of the side bead of the previous row. We're going to add 2 C colors again. We'll let them drop down. Then we'll go through the top and side bead. And then we go through just the top bead. Now we are ready to add set number 10, which is 2 B colors. Our string is coming out the current top bead of the current row. Add 2 B colors. Let them drop down. And then we will go through the side and top bead. And then we'll position. This time we are coming to the last set, so we will skip this one. We will just go through the 2 beads we just added. So that's 1, 2, and there we are ready. So remember, when you're coming to the last set, you want to skip this 3rd bead and just go through the 2 you just added. And now we are increasing our string is coming in towards our previous row. That's what the T stands for, towards the previous row. We're going to add 3 beads, which we need 2 C colors. And a B color. We let those drop down. And then when you add 3 beads, you go through this bead that your string is coming out of. So we want to go through the bead that our string is coming out of. And there we have our 3 beads on. And now we want to go through all 3 beads again. So we go through 1, 2, and 3. And now our string is in position for our next row. And we will do row 7 in the next video. Hope to see you there.